Okay, today we're going to talk about the first of 8 different parts of speech that make up the sentences that we use. And it's the one that most of you probably know the best, and that's the noun. The textbook definition that you probably learned since you were in elementary school is nouns name people, places, or things. So if we take a look at some of our examples here, we can say that a book, matches, sunlight, a shell. I guess we'd say those are things, right? They're common nouns, that's why they're not capitalized. We also have people. They can be common, like man, woman. They could also be proper nouns, like Maria. And then we obviously have places. Again, common nouns, like classroom or home. But we also have proper nouns, like Philadelphia. What I want to make sure everybody is aware of is this fourth category, which is ideas. So sometimes in all of these examples that we've looked at so far, they're things that you can see, right? They're called concrete nouns. Many of them you can hold in your hand. That's not always the case for nouns. Sometimes they're abstract nouns, and we say these nouns are ideas. So terrorism and democracy are examples of these ideas, abstract nouns. So sometimes with all these different variety of nouns, it can get really confusing to figure out what exactly makes a noun. So that's why I want to move beyond this simple textbook definition to a deeper understanding of how nouns function in sentences. You see, the function of a word is how it operates within the construct of a sentence. And the function will help you understand how nouns really operate. And therefore, you'll be able to identify. So, I want to take a look at 2 basic examples here. Maria saw the movie in the theater, and Maria gave Tommy his ticket at the door. Now, we can probably already tell that there are some people in these sentences, and remember, people are nouns. So Maria and Tommy are both nouns. But let's take a look at how they function, okay? It's a separate thing. Let's look at the first sentence. Every sentence at its core level has to have 2 ingredients. A subject, that's what the sentence is about, and a predicate, that answers the question, what about that subject? So the first thing I want us to know about nouns is that they function a lot of times as subjects, okay? Remember, the subject is what the sentence is about. If we look at Maria saw the movie in the theater, we can ask ourselves, what is the sentence about? It's about the person, you guessed it, Maria. Maria is the subject. Now, nouns can also function as objects, and there are a number of different kinds of objects. We're going to take a look at something called a direct object. Direct object. A direct object is the noun that the subject acts upon. So if we take a look at this first sentence again, Maria saw the movie in the theater. We already established that Maria is the subject. She's the thing that the sentence is about. The sentence is about Maria. Now we want to ask ourselves, is there something that Maria is acting upon? And she is acting upon something. She's seeing something. What is it that she saw? She saw the movie. That makes movie the direct object in the sentence because it is being viewed by Maria. Maria is acting upon the movie by viewing it. That's the second function of a noun. Now, let's get back to a different kind of object, and that's something called the indirect object. The indirect object is the receiver of the direct object. So if we go to sentence number 2, Maria gave Tommy his tickets at the door. We can say, what is the sentence about? Again, like in the first example, it's about Maria. What did Maria act upon? She gave something. What did she give? She gave the ticket. Ticket is the direct object. However, in this case, in the second example, that ticket, the object being acted upon, and therefore the direct object, is being received by something else or someone else. That receiver of the ticket is, you guessed it, Tommy. Tommy, therefore, is the indirect object in the sentence. So to recap, in the third sentence, Maria is the subject, or excuse me, second sentence, Maria is the subject, ticket is the direct object because it is being acted upon by the subject. The ticket was being given by Maria. And then the indirect object is Tommy, because Tommy is the receiver of that direct object. Last piece of the puzzle for today is that nouns also function as objects of prepositions. Now, we're going to talk about prepositions later, but essentially prepositions are words that show relationships. They show the relationship of one noun in the sentence to another part of the sentence. Okay? So relationships in space and time. When something happened, where something was done. And if you take a look at the first example, Maria saw the movie in the theater. We have another noun there. It's not a person, it's a place. If you haven't found it already, it's theater. Theater is the place that Maria saw the movie. Now, this is not functioning as a subject because the subject in the sentence is Maria. It's not functioning as a direct object because it's not the thing being acted upon by Maria. It's the place in which Maria saw the movie. Now, take a look at the word that precedes theater. We have a word in. It's a relationship word. It's showing us a location and therefore is a preposition. Objects of prepositions are simply nouns that follow prepositions in sentences, and together they form what is called a prepositional phrase. So in the theater is a prepositional phrase, and it lets us know where Maria saw the movie. If you take a look at the second example of the sentence, see if you can't spot another noun that acts as an object of a preposition. If you see, it's door. Door is a thing, right? But it's acting not as the subject, not as the direct object, not as an indirect object, but as an object, again, of a preposition. The preposition is at. Again, just like in the theater, at the door lets us know the location in which this exchange happened. Maria gave Tommy his ticket, where? At the door. Prepositional phrase, the preposition is at, and door is functioning as an object of a preposition. Those are the four main ways that nouns function in a sentence, as subjects, direct objects, indirect objects, and objects of a preposition. And as we learn the different parts of speech, we're going to diagram them and talk about them break them down so that we understand not just the textbook definition, but also how words function in the context of sentences. If you need more help with this, you can go to the Learning module and click on the link to Grammar Revolution, and you'll see more examples of nouns and how they operate in the sentence. Thanks for watching.